welcome to the show, the last episode of season 5. I'm Jenna Morton.
And I'm Tosh Taylor, and today you're going to catch us outside if you're watching the episode, outside of a beautiful pool, which happens to not be mine. It's We're actually at my neighbor's house today, and we want to give a big thank you to Serenity Pools and Landscaping in Riverview for giving us access to their beautiful yard and their pool to use today for, we can't end a season without having drinks and food, right?
Of course. We needed to have a pool party just for the 5 of us. And all of you, you're all invited. You're not here to enjoy the drinks with us, but we're going to teach you how to make some fun drinks and appies and all that kind of good stuff for the summer. So why don't you introduce our guests for the day, Tosh?
Absolutely. So when Jen and I were talking about doing the show today, Jason Gallant was the first person that came to mind. So we have Jason with us on the show. Welcome.
Welcome. It's nice to be here.
Yes.
Beautiful day.
Perfect.
It is beautiful. Jason, you're kind of everywhere, but a chef extraordinaire.
I'm a good cook. I'm not a chef. But yes.
Okay, you are an excellent cook.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love to cook. It's my passion. It's been for the last 15 years or so. It's been. I love providing experiences for people. So just like this.
So here we are. Excellent. And then he was tasked with bringing an amazing mixologist to us. So please welcome Eric Flanagan to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So
we have to share a mic.
Yes, we do. Yeah, it's a bit different for us. We're not used to sharing in this way. So Eric, tell us a little bit about your background and your love of.
Yeah, so I spent years in the bar industry, just bounced around a bit here and there, a lot of spots downtown. Really developed a good love for, it's not so much about the drink, it's more about the entertaining. It's more about the guest, and I really, that's why I enjoy the outdoor environment. I love hosting, both if I'm the one making all the drinks, which we'll do later, or if you just want to pre-batch some stuff so you can join the party yourself. So that's kind of the plan today, I think.
And I think that's a perfect place to start, because you're right, you don't want to always be stuck behind the bar when you're hosting. So you have a little special recipe you're going to share with us for a nice batch drink we can do. Why don't you take it away?
Let's do it. So not all cocktails have to be fancy and elaborate, especially when you're hosting quite a bit of folks at the house. And sometimes we can be blessed and the recipe can be on the back of a bottle.
So simple.
Right? So obviously you can take it from that. As bartenders, we call it the Mr. Potato Head method of bartending. So pretty much every drink you see nowadays is a derivative of a classic. So everything, to say we're reinventing cocktailing, we're not. We're kind of twisting it to the way we like to do it nowadays. More creative ingredients, more fresh ingredients. So that's kind of where we're going to go. So what we're going to do, I call it the Pimm's Pitcher, just because it's a simple derivative of what's called the Pimm's Cup. So Pimm's is a England-based gin aperitif. A little bit of bitter notes to it. It's kind of fun to play with. Not a real high alcohol content, so it's good to start the show off with. If I started with the margarita, I think you might have ended up in the pool. So we're going to avoid that.
We're going to end with that.
Yeah.
And it's nice just to be able to fill a pitcher and pass it around, let your guests serve themselves. Because at that point, you're able to partake. You can drink, and you're not too busy making a mess and cleaning up your mess at the bar afterwards. So real easy bill. Bartending is nothing but math. So the recipe on the back of the bottle has certain ratios. If you want to batch it, you're just going to multiply it. So I really took it by 4. And then from here, I just have some ice to start, and then it's all about fresh ingredients. So Pimm's Cup is kind of known for the fruit and the herbs and everything that's in there. So I just want a pilot full of strawberries and lemons.
Strawberries and lemons going in there.
Yes.
For those of you who don't have the joy of watching us right now and are just listening, this is looking just so colorful and fabulous. Is that cucumber?
Cucumbers in here. Throw some of those in, and some lime as well. Just everything fresh and herbaceous. We're going to throw in some mint. Basil is great as well.
Watch this.
Oh, we've done this before, haven't we?
So Eric and I got to judge a drink competition, and I have never learned so much in one evening. He taught me what to smell. He did not talk too much. He taught me like how to smell the drink and how to taste drinks properly. And then there was one drink that came out, and he was like, "No, it needs this." And so he passes me the mint, and he goes, "Just smack it." So here I am in this restaurant, and it changed the drink completely. It blew my mind. Yeah.
It's the notes, because a drink is more than just what hits your mouth. It's kind of that effervescence, what kind of comes to your nose.
I can smell the mint from over here. Like we're feet away, and I can smell the mint now that you were smacking it.
Even over, I mean, Jason's getting sweaty here over by the grill. I'm surprised. I'm joking. I'm joking. And then we're just going to go with some fresh squeezed lemon juice. I'm going to do 3 ounces here. And again, like everything, just because it's a recipe doesn't mean it's necessarily how you want to enjoy it. Make it your own. And this is it with cocktail culture. Like people argue about an old-fashioned. So an old-fashioned really is however you want to make it. Okay. It is a set recipe. You can go by the old school recipe, but if you prefer it a different way, doesn't mean you're wrong. You're the one enjoying the drink. And I'm going to add the Pims. So I'm going to go with 12 ounces of Pims just to settle up the pitcher here, because we're going to go 4 ways on the first pitcher. Then the second pitcher we'll see. This is a long way to do it.
I'd never heard of Pims before. That was yeah, that's new to me. Yeah, but I'm a gin girl, so I will be going to buy some of that after today's episode.
I was going to say, that's why it really kind of surprises me that you don't know.
I know, yeah.
It's not something I think I ever have picked up myself to make a drink with, but I've heard of it as being, like the Pims cup seems very prim and proper English in my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny, we always joke when we do the drinking episodes about, okay, we're going to go and we're going to buy all these things. And Jenna actually does go out and buy them. Yeah. I go home and go, I'll just crack another can of Radler.
And there's a place for that too, right? Nothing wrong with that if that's what you enjoy.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff at the liquor store that people just aren't familiar with, and just grab a bottle and play with it.
True.
Like, you know,
Well, and like you said, take the time to look at the back. Maybe it comes with a recipe.
maybe you can be on TV. I'm a great bartender with the recipe from the back of the bottle. Well, no, it's.
The bottle doesn't come with all the nice accoutrements that you
Well,
have
but I
there.
really wanted to show that it doesn't need to be fancy. It doesn't have to be intimidating. It can be real simple. It's more about the experience, right? So, and then we're just going to add some ginger ale. You can use sparkling lemon. You can use all kinds of things to this to top it up, just to give it some pizzazz and some spritz.
Yeah, everybody loves the bubbles, right?
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to go real hard, you could probably throw in some Prosecco in there if you wanted to.
It's probably more than we need to do this morning.
Morning, I thought it was 2 in the afternoon.
Taking notes.
Through the power of TV, it's not morning, it's afternoon, which is why we can get on drinking it. So that's it, as simple as that. And then here you'd have a good batch cocktail for a good 4 to 6 guests, you know, or one really thirsty guest, I suppose.
Well, I'm getting pretty thirsty over here.
Just spend your afternoon by yourself by the pool.
Yeah.
That's it. So I will serve these up, and we can switch over to our man with the plan here.
Yeah. Yes, because I see Jason has a lovely little
I'm taking a
spread
picture.
already.
This looks so good.
Of course. Take the pictures.
As you should.
Well, yes, because if you don't follow Hub City Foodie online, go check it out and drool, and you're welcome.
So,
What's going on? What do we got going on here? So one of the things we love doing on the barbecue is fruit. So you can do pineapples, but today we're doing nectarines because I just saw them in the store. I'm like, it's perfect time. So we just sliced out some nectarines, charred them on the barbecue just to get all those juices and the flavors out. I did an arugula pesto. So there's arugula, garlic, just some nuts in there, and some olive oil, some goat cheese, and then some prosciutto ham on top. So you got the salty, the sweet of the nectarine. It's just a perfect, and it looks really fancy. I mean, this looks.
It looks incredible.
And it's just super easy to make, and it's delicious.
I was gonna say, because we watched you do it, and it was not something that I'm like, oh no, I could handle doing that. The steps weren't. Although the pesto, I would want to buy the pesto.
Pesto is super easy to make. If you have a blender, you just throw in the ingredients and let it go, and that's it. That's it. Super easy. Are we eating this? How does this work?
Yeah, we're going to eat it.
Yes, we are going to.
Because I'm hungry.
I'm pouring us drinks, so I hope that's
We've
okay.
got a drink, we've got food. I'm going to carefully put the mic down.
I'm sold at goat cheese all the time. Bring me home a goat cheese.
Hey, goat cheese is fantastic. It's one of those.
Oh, I gotta get in on this too.
Goat cheese is one of those things that as a child I don't think I even knew existed.
No, oh,
And
definitely
now
not.
as an adult I'm like, how did I live without this?
Yeah. And fruit on the barbecue. Definitely not.
Why
something I
not?
would've thought of. Yeah, why not? I guess. Yeah, exactly. Why haven't I done that before either, right?
Oh, that's fantastic.
It was
This
fantastic.
drink is good too.
I'll get to mine in a second here.
So good.
Hope I'm not making too much noise with the ice here.
No,
but-
ambiance is what we need, so that's okay.
Ambiance.
While we're all stuffing our faces.
and
I didn't want to put that
mess.
down, so I should put it to the side so I can finish it after the show. But it's something that you would never think of. And like you said, I watched you in the kitchen earlier prepping it. It didn't take you that long to do the pesto.
This is super easy to do, for sure. Yeah.
So, yeah. So what made you want to get into food so much? Like, where did
it's just,
I know?
It's kind of a family thing. My
Okay.
parents started cooking a lot more food and different kind of food, and I just fell in love with the flavors. I was like, I want to recreate this stuff. So
Okay.
probably about 15 years ago, I really liked starting doing my own recipes and cooking for people and just providing an experience. To me, it's the whole supper experience of sitting down with people and just talking and just eating delicious food is my favorite part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
The great food and the great people, it's always a good time.
Yeah, and then I think probably also seeing people's reaction to your food as well, right?
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
It's got to be so rewarding.
I'm the worst critic. Like I critique myself. Like I'm like, this is not that great, guys. It can be better. It can be better, and it's going to be better.
Next time, I got this.
Yeah. So yeah, I do this all the time. So I do a lot of private events. So in-home dining experiences where I come into your home with all the food, the plates, the napkins. You just sit down, relax. I'll do wine pairings as far as like telling you which wines to buy at the store. And then I come in, do all the cooking, make sure the kitchen is clean when I leave, and you guys everyone just sits down and has a great time. That's one of the things I do.
Exactly. Maybe we'll get into some more in just a minute, but I think that we should critique this drink right now because whoa.
It's fantastic. It is. It's kind of a very perfect summary. Like, especially, I love the presentation too. Like the big tall mason jar filled with ice, all the fruits floating around in it. But the taste, like, it's not an overwhelming alcoholic taste. It's a very perfect by the pool, welcome your guests.
Very lemonade iced tea-ish, but with a little bit of pizzazz and kick to
But
it.
tastes like a grown-up made it.
First person called me a grown-up in about 20 years. Thank you.
No, but it's not like, I know a lot of people don't like the sugary sweet, especially if you're buying pre-mixed drinks, from the liquor store. There's a really high sugar content in a lot of them.
Yeah.
Whereas this, you get that kind of iced tea vibe, but it doesn't have a sugary, like, I don't know how to describe what I just did with my mouth, but that.
You regret the sugary the next day, or later in the afternoon if you start in the morning, I suppose.
Yes, 100%. No, that's a beautiful drink that I very clearly am chugging very quickly.
I don't even know where mine went. I know I put it down, but I drink
I think
that
Talk
already.
has it. I don't know.
Where there it is.
It's over
That's
there. I think you put it
here.
over there. It happens sometimes. It's all right. She's walking from here. Don't worry, everyone.
Yeah, don't worry. I live across the street. So why don't we talk a bit about you guys and your relationship? Because I feel, Jason, you're the one that contacted Eric to come on the show today. How did you know you wanted to work together? When did that little history for you two begin?
We've been kind of semi-friends for a long time, but I've only got to see him work once. We had an event at the old work I used to work at, and I saw him in action. I'm like, this guy is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, I know you say old fashions, you can only do it one way, but I like Eric's way. They are delicious. They're amazing.
Oh, thanks. And that's kind of it. I think I definitely had the shared passion with Jay just for the culture, and I find modern culture makes it way too much about the drink and the knowledge, and it's less about the experience and the guest, and make sure the guest gets what they want. Like, if it's the old fashioned you like, it should be the old fashioned you get. So it's fun just to try and grow the culture here in Moncton too. We're at a great spot where we've got some great things happening. I mean, I'm having a really good time. I'm working as a bar consultant over at Lowly, so getting them open, and with the patio coming, and there's the new menu coming. So there's lots of growth there in that area of town, and really, really encouraging. And I mean, now that we finally got a sunny day in June, I think the patio should be pretty busy today. Lots of people calling in sick to work.
Yes. Oh yeah. Jenna and I got to enjoy Lowly when they first opened.
Yes, the opening night.
And
Fantastic.
I loved how every drink had a name. And the name that meant something to the actual location,
100%.
which was a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
I was Queenie all the way.
It's a story, and it's nice to talk about Queenie and who she was. Like, she was the first female graduate from Dalhousie, and then she bought the house that we're in. So it's the old Sounds Fantastic building. Everybody in Moncton knows what it is, but no one really knows the story behind it.
Right.
So it's great to be able to tell that story and bring it back to life.
Yeah.
I guess it's great. But
Smart move for sure.
We could talk all day about what's happening with the bar scene and the restaurant scene,
Yeah.
but
we want to drink
we
more,
have
eat more.
we have more drinks and more food to get through, so I want to keep us going.
Let's go.
So,
Sure.
which are we going to next? Are we going?
I'm good to
Jason?
make a drink if you
Are we
want,
making a
Jay.
drink?
What do
We're
you
Yeah,
talking
whatever.
about what Jason's got
It's 2
next.
minutes. 2 seconds, and I'm good.
Perfect.
Everything's ready.
So,
Wait on you.
first one was quite easy. This one it's a twist on a margarita. I'd call it the margarita before. I've used it before, but it's basically a cucumber and jalapeno margarita.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, margaritas are simple in nature. It's just tequila, typically an orange liqueur. So I'm using triple sec, you can use Cointreau, Grand Marnier if you want to go real fancy. fresh squeezed lime juice, and then a sweetener. I'm going to use an organic agave syrup, which kind of shows off the character of the tequila a little bit more. But you can also just make a basic simple syrup. You can, whatever you need to do. It doesn't have to be fancy. And I have a fun story if I got a minute.
Please.
And this is kind of my family's summer cocktail. We always just love margaritas, and we have a cottage we use down in Pugwash, and it just turns into Eric making margaritas all day. So that's all great and good. But I taught my brother-in-law, whose last name is Burke, we'll get to why that's important in a minute, how to make those margaritas. He's making the margaritas, and then one day, lo and behold, we ran out of tequila at might have been 11:30. In the morning, but anyway, so he said, what do we do? And he said, well, I got a bottle of spiced rum, can we use that? I'm like, probably not, but let's have a whirl.
Let's go.
So we hit it with the spiced rum, and now that's called the Burkerita, and now that's their family drink. And it's great to have the stories and to make it easy and entertaining. And then the next year, again, to make it easy for everybody, I found these at the dollar store. They're just these little, I'm not sure you can see, little pineapple sealable shakers, and my wife found them actually. And I just basically told my family, you put 2 ounces of this, 2 ounces of that, pack it full of ice, and shake it hard, and you bring that down on the beach with you, and it floats along in the water. You can't spill it when you think a little later in the afternoon or later in the morning. But
In your case.
so anyway, and that's it. It's just make it fun and make it an experience, and then even if the drinks are terrible, at least people are still having a good time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you get to actually enjoy being there instead of being stuck at the bar the whole time.
Exactly, and that's where the pitcher cocktail is great, and coming up with this is great because it's great to have people over to your house. Lord knows you want to enjoy it too. You want to enjoy your guests, right? So here we're just literally, we're going to muddle first. We're just trying to extract some oils out. So I got jalapenos, some lime, and some cucumber in here. Cucumber takes the heat off the jalapeno and just kind of leaves the flavor, which is nice.
I did not know that.
Muddler.
Well, actually, I learned it earlier when he threw a slice of jalapeno in his mouth, and he had to cool it down with the cucumber.
I like spicy, but this was a little bit too much spicy for me at, what was it, 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this was a kick. And my favorite shaker, the Drink Local.
Drink Local.
Obviously. So make sure to support your local bars. I know Jason's got the right shirt on today.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tire Shack all the way.
There. So we're just going to muddle that and work that a little bit.
So for people that are listening, do you want to explain what muddling is?
Muddling, you're just pressing out. It's more about the oils and everything that's in there as well as the juice and the fruit. So you're just making a pumice or
You shoved everything in the bottom of a
Just
beer glass and
press
just
it.
pound on it.
And you can use a spoon if you don't have a muddler. You don't have to be super fancy and buy all the fancy bar tools. You can just kind of make do with what you've got. One word of advice on making a cocktail: add the liquor last, because if you make it wrong, you don't have to throw the liquor out. So that's always been
Genius,
something I do, and ice last.
Genius,
So
isn't
so that's it. It sounds really complicated, but
I would
it's really
Well, and I was wondering, like, is there a drink?
because when you're talking to people, you tend to forget things when you're making drinks. And like sometimes they forget to put alcohol in the drink. I'm not sure if you remember that one or not.
I do remember that. Yeah. Wasn't either one of us.
But sometimes that's okay too. You might have someone who's not
That's
into
true.
alcohol right now for whatever reason, and can still have a fun drink. You know,
Yep, the mocktail. This one that you're making here would be a great mocktail, I'm sure.
100%. And you know what? So would the Pim's Cup in a way. It's a real simple mocktail, but you could definitely pull it off as that.
Okay.
what would you put in instead of Pims? 'Cause that
Pims, you can just lengthen it that way with the soda. So anytime you can, I mean, lime juice and ginger ale would be a great little mocktail too.
Sure,
but
perfect, yeah.
but it can be as simple as like we do one over at Loli. It's just a real popular. It's a blueberry basil mojito. So there's
yeah,
no
that's
alcohol.
Yes, we had
so
that.
we do a blueberry basil syrup. It's real simple, and then just build it from there, and it's full and it's effervescent. It's become quite popular. So I just added an ounce of lime juice. So there's a half an ounce of, I almost caught that, my organic agave, a full ounce of lime juice, and then we're going to do, we'll do an ounce and a half of Hornitos Reposado tequila. You can use a silver tequila as well. I just like the smoky notes from a Reposado. Reposado just means it's been aged for 3 months to a year. And then beyond that would be what's called añejo, when you're getting the big flavorful sipping tequilas.
So much to learn. So much to learn.
But you don't need
it's
to. You
so-
can just put it in your mouth and say it's delicious.
But it is so
Working
different,
so
right?
hard.
It can, the type of alcohol you use can make such a difference in a
totally.
drink. And that was what I learned at Christmas time was the sorry, was it Rohi? Reposado.
Yep.
Yes. Going with that rather than like the cheapest tequila you might have pulled off the
Right.
shelf when you were younger. can make all the
Or
difference.
when you're in your 40s.
That cheap tequila doesn't treat you well the next day.
No, that's not like you're using the Margaritaville machine. You can throw that in. If
Well,
you're
that's
taking the
it.
time to make the drink, just go the one step up.
Did you
It gets
buy
used.
that?
Oh,
Is
it gets.
that you?
Bought that? Yes, it gets used a lot in my house. We've had it for 13 years now.
Beauty. Beauty.
But the kids like that one because it's really like shaved ice if you don't put the alcohol in. You can put things in and then it's almost just like a shaved ice drink for them.
I think I should tell my neighbors here at Serenity Pools and Landscaping to get us a Margaritaville machine.
Go right in for the next time we do this.
Yes, exactly.
Or just invite me over more often. Like, I'll stop by. Just give me a little bit of notice.
Gonna get the first drink though.
Yeah.
I'll bring the kids.
I was going to say, we've realized our kids are the same age, so you're in.
I'm in. Moving in next door. Here we go. My wife wants to be out here. We're happy. We're happy. And I'm just gonna give a good shake. Shake hard. I see people shaking like this. You're not really doing anything. You really gotta hit it. You normally know when you're done shaking when you start to see ice on your shaker.
Oh, yeah?
That's when you know it's chilled enough.
The arm muscles, I couldn't imagine my arms would be like,
All right, so while you're wrapping up with that one, we're going to get Jason to tell us what else he made us for lunch before we have to wrap up here.
no, where's it?
Yes.
Put your drink
Yeah.
down, Tosh. It's time to get to it.
Let's go. Let's do
Tell
this.
us what we got here, Jason.
Okay, so in my family, salmon is the one thing that everybody likes. So it's a very popular meal in our family. So I did a cedar plank salmon. So you can get these I got this one at Sobeys. You just soak it in water and then you put your salmon on and cook it in the barbecue. So what the soaking it does is kind of cooks. It doesn't burn the wood first of all, and it kind of releases air, so or like a vapor, so that it cooks the salmon through. Underneath I have just like a Mexican type salad, so I grilled the corn on the barbecue, added it with some jalapenos, red peppers, just a little mayo and hot sauce mix, and just flop the salmon on top, and super good.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
It's so colorful.
It is, and I'm going to admit to you right now, I've never eaten salmon in my life.
What?
Not even one time.
How is this not the whole show? It should be the whole
Should
show.
we do a second half?
Tosh does salmon.
We need a review after this.
Oh my god, this is
Save
great.
that. We can just do that on Jason's TikTok.
Yeah.
Tosh trying salmon. We are going to have to wrap it up
Yeah.
and try this very soon. So remind everyone, if they want to know more about, following you guys online, hitting up your businesses, what do people need to know?
So I'm everywhere. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I got a web page as well. One big thing coming up is I do have a tour coming up to Memorial Cooks. We're going to the distillery out there, the orchard. We're doing the other winery that's out there as well, and then ending at the Barbie, which is a new beer place. It's a great tour. $90 gets you a drink in each spot, the bus ride, some snacks like this maybe along the way. But yeah, you can just go to to my Facebook page and the events there, and you can buy tickets online through Eventbrite.
And that's the Hub City.
Hub City Foodies, you got it, yeah.
Perfect.
Way to go.
And people can find you.
To find me, well, I do have a Facebook called the Local Bar Keep, Facebook profile I run, and reach out with questions. If you want to have a home bar, you want to have something, feel free to reach out. I just want to build culture there. Stop in, give us a little try over at Lowly, and just keep supporting Jason and the city as a whole. Get out to your local bars, enjoy the patios, and stuff.
All right. Well, we're gonna hop in and enjoy this.
Should
we're
we-
gonna give a
Yes,
shout
yes.
out as
Trying
well.
this for the first time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And
But
Tosh, you're
yes.
gonna tell us about the pool where we are. For
Absolutely.
today?
That's right. One last time, we just want to thank our friends here at Serenity Pools and Landscaping for letting us use their pool and their house and everything today. It has been an absolute blast, and you can check them out if you're planning a pool for 2024.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us for season 5 of the podcast.
crazy.
We will be back with fresh episodes in September, but there'll be reruns and maybe even a few bonuses through the summer. So keep hitting subscribe so you know what's going on. Thank you all so much. Thank you guys for
for having
coming and putting in all this effort. I can't wait to try this margarita. So we're
And
just
then
going to
3 more.
dive in.
Let's zoom in here. Let's zoom in on this.